Hi everybody, I'm DJ Foster, joined by Grand Valley State head football coach Matt Mitchell as the Lakers prepare for a road game in Detroit this Saturday night, 6 p.m. start against Wayne State. Coach, a nice win for your team last week, 46-14 victory over Hillsdale here in Lubbers Stadium. It was a rainy night, kind of a bad weather overall, but in a game where there was 46 points scored by you guys, I think the defense was really the story of the game, considering especially one of those touchdowns Hillsdale scored was from the 1-yard line on a turnover. So talk about the way the defense played the second straight week where you had a shutout in the second half. You gave up just 137 yards total.
Yeah, I think, a couple factors on that. One, we were a little upset with our performance at Lake Erie. We didn't probably feel like we played as best we could, especially when we're playing a really physical brand of football, which we need to. So players got challenged. I think the defensive staff did a great job of getting those guys ready to go. And, I was really impressed all night with, three things. One, we did a great job fitting the run up. Everybody was in the right spots. I think we only really misfit 2 runs, didn't have guys in the right spot. 2, we were physical at the line of scrimmage. And then we tackled well, and as a product of that, we shut down a team that primarily runs on a ball control offense. In the running game, we held them to 53 yards rushing. So, as you said, really our defense gave up 1 drive, 1 touchdown, and we had some opportunities on third down to get off the field, and really the touchdown we gave up was on a 3rd and goal from the 17-yard line. We kind of busted something, but other than that, a really dominant night, really from our defense, and hopefully shows the potential that they have, and I think we're starting to get more and more guys that are, being 1/11th of the defense, really kind of buying in what's happening.
You've specialized more in special teams this year, no pun intended there, and they were huge last weekend. Matt Williams scored the first touchdown on the punt return. You had, I don't know if you want to call it the block kick, but you got the safety on the bad snap, and then Joel Skipper made 3 field goals again in bad weather. So talk about how special teams have really progressed and their performance last week. Yeah,
I think that was a huge factor in the game too. We talk a lot about hidden yardage within our program, always have. We were over 100 yards of hidden yardage, and that was all from the special teams end of things. And had we not committed 2 penalties, we had 2 holding calls on returns, and both those returns hit really big, it would have been a really dominant night, for our special teams. So I think all your special teams start with specialists. That's where it starts, and Joel Skipper is really on fire right now, to be honest with you. He's performing at a very high level. We have a lot of confidence he can take the field and score points for us when that team is out there. And then Jamie Potts being our punter, one of those punts that we ran out of an offensive formation, we gained 48 yards of field position on that punt, and typically I'm pretty happy with 35. We gained an additional 13 yards. That's more field position for our offense. So by having Potts as a punter, and we showed 3 different punt formations on Saturday, hopefully and keep people off balance so we don't give up those returns, that we did maybe earlier in the year. And as you mentioned, our kickoff team has been very consistent, which has helped out our defense. And I finally, saw some flashes of our kickoff return, showing up. And obviously the punt return, I think the return game really kind of took a step forward a little bit with some guys doing what they're coached and getting in the right spot. So that's going to be really critical for us moving forward. I know it's going to be critical Saturday. It's going to be a huge game for field position, and that's got to be dictated by your special teams.
Let's talk about Wayne State a little bit. They're 2-3 overall, 1-3 in GLIAC play. They started 2-1 and then have had a couple of tough games the last 2 weeks, just scored 20 points total in those 2 games and given up 31 points in both contests. What do you see that your offense, which has scored 65 and 46 points the last 2 weeks, what do you see that they can do against this Wayne State defense?
Well, I think it's going to be a huge challenge. They bring pressure on over 50% of their snaps. They are a very pressure-oriented defense. They've got some good athletes that can bring pressure. And, so that's problematic. It's going to be something that we're going to have to handle on the offensive side of the ball. We've got to protect our quarterback when we do a throw, and we got to be able to run into pressure and have some success and not be stuck behind the chains, all day and just try and chase that a little bit. So I think it dictates that when you're facing aggressive defenses, you can't get in a shell and be afraid to call some plays. And so we've got to be aggressive on the offensive side of the ball. And we got to understand that, their pressure may get to us. We got to keep swinging. We got to keep going out. We got to keep playing football. So it'll be vastly different, I think, than the last couple of weeks. The defenses we faced are a little bit more base defenses. This is one that gets after you a little bit more, and definitely a cause for concern.
As I mentioned, just 13 points and 7 points in consecutive weeks for Wayne State, but they're at home. You're sure they're going to try some things against you guys. What do you see offensively from them?
Well, I think their season probably took a little bit of a turn at the opener when they lost Carl Roscoe, their starting quarterback, and DJ Zazula came in as a true freshman quarterback. And, that's tough. It's tough to play in this league, period. Tough when you have a freshman. So they've always been a program, as long as Paul Winters has been there, that's been about controlling the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football, and that includes our offense. They're going to try to run the ball right at you. They've got 2 big physical running backs You know, they're pounders. I mean, they really do a great job of trying to get those guys on different types of schemes with their shoulders downhill, really attacking your line of scrimmage. So we're going to be challenged again in the run game, you know, and I think the whole key for them and for us is, you know, what type of third downs are they in? You know, if they're in some third and longers, that probably favors Grand Valley. If they're in, you know, don't have any third downs or in 3rd and 1 or 2, it's going to favor Wayne State. So, that, you know, first play of a drive, first play of a series, those 1st and 10 downs are going to be kind of critical for both sides, both teams, you know, in terms of, you know, how the day goes.
Last thing before I let you go, how big is this weekend, especially with, you know, looking ahead a couple of weeks? I know you guys don't like to do that, but you have Michigan Tech, Findlay, Ashland, 3 games in a row. So to get a win over a sub-500 team this week, how big is it to play well and have a good performance this weekend?
Well, I think, you know, we're always talking about progress over perfection, and I just want to see the team make the next step, you know. And for us, I don't really care how it happens, what type of ball game it is. You know, we're just got to try to, you know, find a way, whatever we got to do, try to find a way to get to 5-1. You know, try to get to 4-1 in the league. And that's really what we're concerned with right now. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen beyond that. There's a bunch of other football being played. We may get a bunch of guys. You know, I have no idea what's going to happen. So all we can really control is our effort and performance this Saturday, and just try to be 1 point better than Wayne State. That's really what we're concerned about, is trying to get that victory. And at the same time, you'd like to come back on Saturday and make some progress. You know, keep getting better throughout the course of the season. That's what great Grand Valley teams in the past have done. They've embraced getting better as the season progresses, and I'd like to see some of that happen on tape. I think we took steps forward here the last couple of weeks. We need to continue to take those strides forward.
Grand Valley State at Wayne State, a 6 p.m. start this Saturday in Detroit, the Lakers and the Warriors. Mitch, thanks for your time and good luck this weekend.
All right, thank you.